The Arctic, where silence is a weapon. And the cold hides more than just snow. For decades, Russia has called this frozen frontier its untouchable fortress, the top of the world, sealed beneath ice beyond the reach of any enemy. But in 2025, a new kind of war is emerging, one not fought in trenches or skies, but in the shadows of satellite networks, drone signatures, and digital ghosts moving through the snow. And at the heart of it is Ukraine. In the far reaches of the Russian north, high above the Arctic Circle, lies a network few have ever seen. Dozens of military outposts, radar domes, missile silos, and nuclear submarine bases stretch across the tundra, from Murmansk all the way to Franz Josef Land. They call it the Northern Shield, a frozen empire guarding the last frontier. To Moscow, it's more than just territory. It's the crown jewel of their global strategy, a gateway to untapped oil, gas, and new global power routes. As the ice melts, the Arctic becomes the new battleground for the 21st century. And Russia has every intention of ruling it. But beneath this frozen confidence lies a problem no radar can detect. Because as the Kremlin builds upward, Ukraine has begun to look beneath. In Kyzyl, far from the polar night, a silent project was born. One that combines AI reconnaissance, thermal cloaking, and micro-drone infiltration. Its purpose, to expose Russia's hidden lifelines, buried deep beneath ice and steel. They call it winter counter-surveillance, and it's already rewriting the rules of Cold Warfare. War has always been Ukraine's brutal teacher. From the mud of Bakhmut to the frozen trenches of Kherson, they learned the language of survival, not through overwhelming power, but through surgical precision. Every drone, every line of code, every whisper of movement became part of a new doctrine: outsmart the giant. Don't try to outgun him. And as winter tightened its grip, Ukraine realized that the cold itself could become its ally. In near total silence, they began developing winter-adapted drones, machines that could blend with the snow, evade radar detection, and navigate brutal Arctic storms completely undetected. They integrated thermal camouflage, magnetic noise dampeners, and even adaptive AI, all designed to slip through the cracks of Russia's supposedly perfect defenses. While Russian forces boasted of their nuclear submarines moving stealthily under the ice, Ukrainian engineers were mapping the unseen world below: fiber optic relays, subsurface bunkers, and critical communication tunnels. The goal wasn't destruction, it was exposure. Because sometimes revealing an enemy's secrets is far more powerful than any missile strike. By late 2025, quiet, unexplained signals began to surface. Mysterious disruptions appeared in Arctic data lines. Russian radar stations would go dark for hours at a time. Supply convoys were suddenly delayed by what were officially labeled as communication errors. To the outside world, nothing seemed particularly unusual. But deep within Russian command, something was very, very wrong. Ukraine's winter eyes had found the cracks in the armor. Their counter-surveillance algorithms, built from real-time satellite overlays and deep-scan thermal maps, began tracing hidden infrastructure that Russia thought was completely invisible. From abandoned Cold War bunkers to new submarine pens being constructed beneath Novaya Zemlya, Ukraine's digital fingerprints were suddenly everywhere. No explosions, no firefights, just silence and cascading system failures. One Western analyst called it a ghost war in the frost. No borders, no uniforms, no official acknowledgement from either side. Yet every disrupted signal cost Russia millions, and every exposed tunnel whispered the same unnerving truth. Their Arctic empire was unteased nearly as untouchable as they believed. By early winter, Russian state media had gone strangely quiet on the topic of Arctic modernization. Vague reports of technical maintenance were used to mask a deeper, growing panic. Behind the fortified walls of the Ministry of Defense, sleepless analysts pored over frozen data logs, desperately trying to trace how someone, somewhere, had managed to infiltrate their most secure systems. And all the while, as Russia scrambled to reinforce its communications, Ukraine's unseen operators simply watched and waited. This wasn't about launching missiles, it was about changing the entire strategic equation. Every intercepted frequency, every new map overlay, every interference pulse forced Russia to divert precious resources north, draining attention and manpower from the active front lines. This was strategic judo, using the enemy's own weight and momentum against him. And the message was crystal clear. Even in the most frozen, desolate corners of the earth, Ukraine could reach you. The Arctic, once the ultimate symbol of Russia's dominance, was now becoming its critical pressure point, a place where national pride met creeping paranoia, and where silence itself became a source of fear. Today, defense analysts warn that this isn't just about Ukraine and Russia anymore. It's the beginning of something much larger, the next evolution of warfare. A new era where stealth doesn't just mean being invisible. It means being unnoticed until it's far too late. AI-driven counter-surveillance, autonomous drone infiltration, and electromagnetic deception are all merging into a single battlefield without boundaries. A world where temperature, terrain, and code become just as decisive as bullets and bombs. The Arctic, once defined by its profound isolation, now hums with invisible conflict, satellites, signals, and algorithms waging a silent war right beneath the snow. And as nations around the world race to claim this melting frontier, one thing is becoming terrifyingly clear: whoever controls the unseen controls the future. Ukraine's silent strikes have proven that ingenuity can outmatch raw might, and that even in the coldest, most unforgiving corners of the earth, the flame of resistance can burn bright. Because in every war, whether it's fought in deserts, cities, or on ice, victory always begins in the shadows, long before the rest of the world ever sees it. Thanks for watching. If you want to explore more forgotten stories of modern warfare, where power, innovation, and destiny collide, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next one.